injured.
All right, well, let's move on now to a little bit of refreshing news, shall we? To just, brighten the spirits. Ruben Amorim was named Premier League Manager of the Month.
That's one of the most ridiculous things ever. I tell you what.
This is where we shut down the show.
And Brian Mboma got Player of the Month, too, for the month of October. But we're going to see if they can continue that form into November because they do have to travel.
What form?
To face
They should have lost at
Spurs.
Nottingham Forest.
Craig, you pictured or you predicted
whoever.
a loss.
Yeah.
For United.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Well, did you watch them play at Forest last week?
Yeah,
Right.
unfortunately.
Whoever voted for Ruben Amorim to be Coach of the Month because he won a couple of games and everybody felt sorry for him. Mikel Arteta, they never lost a game. I don't think they lost a goal, whether you like him or not. Right? At the end of the day, if you're going to be doing this with awards, don't have awards, right? Just don't have it, right? Because this is ridiculous. I've gone for one now. I'll tell you why. Because I don't really think United are a great side, and I think they showed that last week. When they were under pressure at Forest. Yeah, they had a couple of good results before that, I'll give you that. And Tottenham are sort of buoyed by a better performance midweek. I'm only doing it because they're at home, because they were absolutely rank rotten against Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think Thomas Frank, the Tottenham fans, are undecided about him, shall I say. And there was that incident last week where, was it Van de Ven and Spence sort of blanked him? Never a good sign. Never a good sign for any manager, never mind a new manager. But just because they're at home and just because generally their defence is quite strong, I've gone for Tottenham. But to be honest, it could go either way. I don't really.
Nathan, what do you think? You actually have surprisingly gone for a Manchester United win, and I didn't have to twist your arm for that one.
Yeah, beware of the jinx. Beware of the prediction jinx, Alexis. But yeah, in all seriousness, I've seen United play better in the league in the last few weeks compared to, say, Spurs, who have had those up and downs. And as that sort of graphic shows, at home, they've really not shown anything at all. And I think from Craig's perspective, talking about Spurs at home against Chelsea, they were horrible. When you think about the nature of that game, it's a big game, it's a rivalry, and there was just nothing there whatsoever. So in some ways, maybe, Spurs aren't going to be a great side going forward playing at home. Obviously, they had a good result in the Champions League in midweek, but even within that, there was some level of toil. But I think in this moment in time, United arrived in a better moment, and as a consequence, I think I could see them winning the game.
Well, Spurs showed that they can definitely score some goals. We saw that in the Champions League, some stunning ones, especially from Mickey van der Ven.
I mean,
still not convinced.
Tottenham versus Manchester United, historically, when you look at the fixture, should excite you. But there's nothing that really excites me about this game.
Because what's on the line, really, for these two teams at the end of the season?
I mean, Manchester United, he got that award because of the Liverpool game. That's why Amorim got the award. And he still talks, every weekend, he still talks about how they fall asleep. And he's right. And that's what he did at Forest.
Yeah.
They dominated the first half, and then they were lucky they got the point at the end of the day. I mean, really, there's nothing that excites me about this game, honestly. I think Mboma probably deserved to get his award because I think he's been their standout player, and he has absolutely made a difference, and he might do the same in this game and get a goal. But I don't trust Manchester United at all. And Tottenham going forward, they may have scored the other night against, Copenhagen, right?
Yep.
They were playing against 10 men. They were playing with 10 men, sorry. And Copenhagen just lay down. So it's hard to get carried away about Spurs going forward. But again, I don't trust Manchester United. I don't trust the back line to keep MD out. So that's why I've gone for a 1-1. But I can't. I'm going to have to get up at 7:30 to watch this.
Yeah, same. Well, Frank, Stevie's not excited, but you've gone for a couple of goals in this one, a 3-1 win for Spurs.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to me, but really, yeah. I think I go with the statistics and the odds and everything, and I say, when you are Spurs and you lost 1-0 the way you lost against Chelsea at home, it can happen twice. And players, they know that. They will have a pride. They will work hard. And maybe they can change the attitude that they had and the bad attitude they had. I'm talking about Van de Ven and Spence toward the coach at the end of the game. So they want to make sure the fans will cheer them up, so they're going to work hard and they're going to win that game. And I'm with Stevie. I'm not convinced about Manchester United. I saw the game against Nottingham Forest. Yeah, they were better against Nottingham Forest, but they were shaky at some point, like for 5 minutes. Like I rarely I've seen that. So let's see how it works for the both team. But yeah, we are talking about two teams. We finished 16 and 17th last season, or 15 and 16th last season. So I don't expect too much. I will be on the train on my way to my play. So let's see if I have a connection. If I don't have a connection, that's not a big deal.
Wow.
I think you know, Thomas Frank did a really good job at Brentford. But if you look back at the way they played, there was a certain style about how they did things, and a lot of it was sort of counter-attacking, balls over the top, pace and aggression with the guys up front. There has to be a bit more at a club like Tottenham than that. And I think, to be honest, they've made a mistake. I think Frank's a good manager, but I think Areola is a much better one. I think that was the choice they should have gone for. And I think they've been sort of laden with another Daniel Levy decision before he was booted out of the football club by ownership, who did an audit of how he was running the club. And it was his push to get Thomas Frank to come in. And it's early days for him. Now, don't get me wrong, it is early days. But I do think that was his last sort of hurrah of a mistake. And he made many, was pushing the boat out to get Thomas Frank from Brentford when the best guy available was the guy managing Bournemouth, who's still, although they lost last week, when you lose 3 or 4 of your best players, as they did, and they're still sitting, as they were, going into last week, I think, in the top 4 in the Premier League, that's telling you the job he's doing there. So I think there's a lot.
And the way they play as well.
Yeah, the football that they play, the way they go about it, everything he does, from his time in Spain to his time at Bournemouth, is just classy. And Thomas Frank has got this work ethic and organisation, and that was great for Brentford. But I think the Tottenham fans, you know, you can argue all you want about, you know, success and not success, but they're demanding a little bit more than that. You know, they don't want the Ange Postecoglou, you know, scattergun approach, but they don't want this kind of football that they've seen this season at home and in many games, and certainly the game against Chelsea. So he has to find the balance between this sort of defensive, turgid approach to getting the more of the flair players into the game. And I think there is a big question mark whether he's the man to actually do that or not. But I've still gone narrowly for a win because I don't think either are great sides.
No. Started
You
on
seem
a positive.
disappointed.
Yeah, started on a positive for me, ended on a negative.
Well, it's not about
mine.
it's not about who supports who in this show.
Exactly. All right, well, here's
Or it
all the
certainly
Premier
shouldn't
League
be.
fixtures coming up this weekend. We talked about some of the big guns playing, but Arsenal, they are the big gun at the moment. They are up against Sunderland. Something tells me Nedum will be very tuned into that game.